players with advice. Loved being a Bulldog and helping the Bulldogs.
The first face-off will be scrambled after and won by Yale. It's scooped up by Nicholas Ramsey. And here come the Bulldogs on the attack. Session stays with Penn State. 32 left on the shot clock.
And kind of an interesting thing here. We're seeing Yale in the zone, but Penn State able to find that opening right in the middle of the zone.
And that's Jack Trainer coming through for the Nittany Lions, and it's 1-0 Penn State. Less than 2 minutes into our game. And now here comes Yale.
Well,
Spinning is Nicholas Ramsey, who resets it.
Yale's they've got a lot of time, 60 seconds left on the shot clock. And you see Thomas Bragg out here.
Near the crease, looking for position is Leo Johnson, who kicks it right back out. Carson Cool toward the crease, sneaks it past the goalie and scores. And right out of the gate, we're tied at 1.
Well, this Yale team, last week we really saw that power of that attack. But one of the things that people were looking at was, hey, where are those midfielders? Yale, the two-way midfielders, their first and second line are some of the best in the country. A lot of them are second-year players last year, got a ton of.
Luke Mercer around the screen. Still trying to make his way in. Now the Rockets with TJ Malone, who we highlighted in the pregame show earlier. Long shoots. It's knocked down in the crease. And with the rebound, TJ Malone sticks it in. It's 2-1 Nittany Lions.
TJ Malone with a great ground ball. And as soon as he gets that ball in his stick, he's looking right at the goal. Paquette, not much he could do there with Malone with time and room.
So now all of a sudden we've got Penn State was shocked very, very early. And we mentioned it not long ago that it was more of a defensive battle between these two teams. But, Pat, are you looking for space as Matt Costin swung over with Chris Jordan. 10 seconds left to shoot. Shaking his trainer. Shot inside is the goal. Bounces right in, and Matt Trainer notches one for the Nittany Lions. It's 3-1 Penn State.
And that's a defensive breakdown there. Really, Jack Monfort there, he's got to force him down the alley. You can't let him get topside and get to his strong hand. He's just going to stay. So it sounds like it's going to be 2 penalties on Cohen. An illegal body check and a hold. So fortunately, I guess for Yale, they're going to have the 2 penalties. Instead of being 2 men down, it's 90 seconds on 1 person.
So either way, Penn State with the man possession, with the man advantage, and they made it count. That's 3 straight goals for the Nittany Lions. It is 4-1 Penn State.
Almost have to wonder if Coach Shea is going to would think about taking a timeout here.
He'll whip it up top to Jordan. Near the crease, it's with Jordan. Looks like Yale has moved into zone defense themselves.
Well, down that man, they've got to stay in that zone.
And once again, going top shelf. It's 4 straight goals for Penn State and a 5-1 Nittany Lion lead.
Great distribution from Jordan there, down low, finding that shot, and then a beautiful finish.
We'll step away as the Nittany Lions going on a run. Yale looking for a response. We'll be back.
And change it, and they called a delay and a procedure and gave possession right to Penn State. And Penn State is fired up.
They've got a very strong alumni/fan contingent. They've been making their presence felt pretty much ever since we got here.
Well, I don't know if somebody was offsides or the Penn State coaching staff.
Either way, they might be fine with it as Matt Trainer danced to the crease. And the officials are trying to decide whether that goal stands, and it does. Matt Trainer, his second goal of the day. It is 6-1 Penn State.
Penn State's just feeling it. They're riding the momentum. This is a team, wow, just a great job individually getting under. I'll tell you though, looking at that play, I don't know that he was pushed into the goal mouth. But Yale's got to figure out what they're going to do with Jordan, because he's just such a big body in there that they've got to be able to get physical with him, and he's winning those matchups right now.
The St. Lawrence transfer standing at 6'4", weighing 220. And Yale, once again, beat by the attack of Penn State. On that goal, it was Matt Trainer. 7-1, Nittany Lions.
Penn State is putting on a clinic right now. And Yale, right now they're just sticking with what they do, but they need to switch things up.
Now, different looks, you know, it's so interesting how different the looks can change even in the middle of the same possession, as Penn State's now in the zone. Matt Brandow whipping it to Johnny Kibe. Looking for a crease is Yale with 3:30 left to go in the first quarter. Bounce shot, great save inside from Jack Frazion. And here comes Penn State.
And this Yale ride has created headaches for a lot of teams over the last year. But Penn State doing a great job of clearing the ball up.
Swimming for position, getting through, checked inside. He's almost double teamed. Yale getting the possession. One-on-one. Tripped up is Leo Johnson on his way to the crease. And now Yale might get a break.
And Penn State, look for them to feed down low.
That wide outside shot keeps possession with the Nittany Lions. They can hold for the rest of this quarter.
I think they're going to try to pump one in. You've got Chris Jordan up top, who's just really seeing the field really well, able to find guys down on the doorstep on either side. And right now you see Penn State with two guys down on the crease.
And coming downhill and getting it done. Matt Trainer rings it again. 8-1 Penn State.
And wow, that's insult to injury. You're going to feed on the man up. Trainer gets a BTB right into the center of the field and scores that goal on Jared Paquette.
That man up goal with this Yale offensive attack. Let's see if they can turn up really the tempo of this game. Long shot scored by Chris Lyons. We highlighted him in the pregame for a reason. That's Yale's first goal in more than almost a quarter. It's 8-2 Nittany Lions.
Chris Lyons coming up when the team needs it, just finding that open seam. All that attention.
Possession.
They did what they've been doing the whole game. That was the first possession or the first shot that Frazion maybe missed it. And here we go. We got a second face-off win for Yale.
And Ramsey seems to be getting it well. He tried to take it all the way himself, and he scores off the face-off.
And a flag for a late hit. So this is what, Yale needed some momentum. This is what they needed. They needed to you win two face-offs, you get a penalty. I'm not sure if they'll call it after the goal, if there'll be a face-off.
But Penn State still with the early lead. Here's Chris Jordan. Whipping it around now with Winkoff. Man-to-man pressure from Yale. Jack Trainer approaching the cage. That shot is stopped inside by Jared Paquette. And now Yale's going to try to clear it.
Great save by Paquette. Scared me a little bit with that pass to. Oh, wow.
And he's being ridden the whole way and manages to keep possession. Jack Monfort. And that's an incredible first clear for Yale to see if they can get back on the board.
And Yale always aware of trying to ride their momentum and using that, firing guys up. You see the whole bench come over and get Monfort and give him props for that great fighting through that clear.
He was shedding through guys. 3 defenders were on him at one point. And now inside, it's Thomas Bragg, the ground ball goal. It's 8 for Penn State, but 3 straight Yale goals.
Wow, that was a great distribution. Faked the pass over to Leo Johnson on the wing, and then just found Bragg right in the middle. And one of the fastest shots in lacrosse. He's not going to miss that close.
We mentioned before that this game could really be.
Penn State keeping guys off of their lines. A little surprised here. Usually this is a situation where we'd see Matt Brandow take it from behind, but we're seeing Leo Johnson going to initiate the ball. He's got Johnny Kibe there. Look for the little two-man game. Do they set a pick? Do they slip? What do they do?
Kibe does set that pick and bounces back toward the baseline. Only 7 seconds left to shoot. Johnson off balance rings it in.
Wow, 4 seconds left on the shot clock there. And Leo Johnson just gets a step on his man and gets his hands free and buries it. And one of the things we talk about when you're telling shooters where to shoot, you're telling kids where to shoot. That goalie, when you come around that corner, that goalie's taught, hug that pipe, keep that near side from, protected. Thankfully, Jared Puckett's able to make that save there and keeping him in this game.
Jordan goes up top, couldn't connect with Trainer. He has to recollect it.
Chris Jordan, wow, what a game that he's been putting forward so far.
And this time, Trainer puts it home after getting the pass. It stops the Yale run and makes it 9-5 Nittany Lions.
Definitely what Penn State needed. Get that possession. They're offensively, when they get the possession, they get the time, they're producing every time.
So here we go. Kibe dancing in. Ball's back out with Brad Sharp. Man-to-man look for Penn State.
No, I think this is actually a
zone.
It's a zone, but they're just
a matchup, sort of a matchup zone.
They're sending that guy on the string up top to kind of go out and play the ball.
Brandow behind the cage. Whipped it back out to Lions. Only 4 seconds left to shoot. Bragg rips it and nails it. More late offense for Yale, and it pays off. The Bulldogs are within 3.
So many people ask, how do you solve a zone defense? And that's it right there. You have Thomas Bragg, no time on the clock. You know that he's got to shoot. He winds up, and when you got a guy that can shoot, he's a yard inside of the restraint.
Toward the cage, the spin move from Trainer.
Good defense from Christian Johnson there.
The whip and the goal from Chris Jordan. What a shot from the big fella.
Big day from Jordan driving the bus there. He gets open on the backside, and that was a breakdown from the Yale defense. I think 2 of the Penn State players kind of set a little off-ball pick for each other to get Jordan open there. But great ball movement, great vision across the field. And every time, Yale starts to chip away. Yeah, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need an at-large bid in the Big Ten, and this is going to be if it was an upset, this would be a huge upset and a real stinger for Yale.
Brad Sharp getting the save racked in for Jack Fracion. Possession stays with the Bulldogs. And right inside, it's Chris Lyons putting it home. It's 10-7 Penn State.
Great ball movement from Yale. And just that vision, Leo Johnson dishing from behind, finding Johnson right on the doorstep.
So all of a sudden, Pat, we're looking to Hackler against man-to-man pressure from Penn State. Yale working it around with just 20 left to shoot. Point-blank shot for Chris Lyons, but it sails wide of the goal. Still Yale ball with 15 left to shoot. Brandow goes one-on-one. There's Bragg inside, and he navigates past Frazion and scores for Yale.
Chris Lyons, tremendous hands, able to catch that and just weave in the defense.
It's going to be a 10-8 Penn State lead. Yale's been the only team that scored this quarter. We'll be back after the break.
And letting those teams, they've got to be able to put 4 quarters of defense together.
The shot goes wide from Ethan Long. Possession stays with Penn State with 40 left to shoot. Malone near the crease. Finally beats Paquette. And it's 11-8 Penn State. The lead back to 3 for the Nittany Lions.
And you're going to see Ramsey and Mullins come out here. And these faceoffs have been right about 50%, 50-50 all day. So it's, you know, every possession counts, and every faceoff is a huge play for these guys. And these are the things that you can't give Penn State more and more opportunities to score, because if you give them another opportunity, they're going to finish.
Case in point, T.J. Malone off the pass from Kevin Winkoff. It's 12-8 Penn State.
And you have to wonder, is that the dagger? Is that the one that Yale just can't overcome facing this Penn State zone defense? And again, Penn State, second year in a row where they have just stymied this Yale offense, and that's a 1-minute cross check, so a lot of time. And does Penn State do they get right into their man up, or do they take some time? And it looks like they're going right into it.
Trainer whipped out with Jordan. Swung around as Penn State looking to crack the man down zone look from Yale. The penalty and the shot clock are pretty much right on line. 24 left to shoot, 24 left in the penalty. And Matt Trainer makes it count. His 5th goal of the day, the Nittany Lions up 13-8.
Penn State feeling it. This is a great day. I'm sure Greg Garanlian is very happy right now. Watching Penn State just do the little things that they need to do to win this game. You don't take that.
Here's T.J. Malone. He'll get the screen from Jake Morin, but we'll keep it instead. See if Morin tries to set another one to free him. Open step, Malone's going to go one-on-one. In the stick now of Jack Trainer, beg pardon. Spinning around, loses the ball, loses his stick, and it's picked up by Yale.
Great cause turnover by Stuzen.
So now Yale's going to try to clear. Swimming through a double team was Patrick Hackler. And we'll see how close they can get with 6:30 left in regulation. Brandow whips it to Cool. Cool with a wide open look inside, and Chris Lyons puts it home.
Again, what we're seeing there, Yale only able to not only, but capitalizing when it's unsettled. Once that Penn State defense settles into that zone, they are really doing a great job.
Check that. It looks like Yale trailing Penn State by 4 with 6:20 to go in regulation.
And Penn State had a 1 face-off lead, and now it's all even on face-offs for this game. And really everyone counts now for Yale. They need every one of these face-offs if they're going to be able to pull this off with 6 minutes left. And Penn State's going to need all of them to keep Yale at bay.
Ramsey with another crucial win at the Circle. And I got to tell you what, I'm still thinking about that second quarter goal from Ramsey where he won the faceoff, took it right to the cage and scored. Yale trying to get within 3. whips in and scores. Carson Cool puts it in, and all of a sudden Yale's within 3 with 5:39 left.
Yale, when they move the ball, when they're not missing those passes, they are tremendously capable of scoring very quickly.
From Jack Monfort, but possession stays with Penn State. Malone, hounded by Monfort, spins, loses the ball, gets it back on the ground again, and Yale just got its first turnover. Monfort controls. They've got to clear it up the field. It's taken in toward the crease. Nice snag by Patrick Hack Johnson. Out wide with Brad Sharp. Sharp toward the cage. It's knocked away by Frazian. Brandow picks it back up for Yale. Goes off balance and scores. That's the first goal of the game from Matt Brandow. It's 13-11 Penn State, but Yale within 2 with 1:53 left.
That's a tall task. It's been tough for them to string together goals like that. And again, minute 53.
Dancing toward the cage is Carson Cool. He's got 1 fourth-quarter goal already. Matt Brandow has it behind the cage. Leaves it inside for Cool. Ball's loose. Still on the ground. And a great feed from Brandow to Leo Johnson.
No goal. Waving it off there. Waving it off. Oh, I think they just called a timeout. I think Yale called a timeout in that unsettled situation to save the possession. And, wow, Andy Shea's – if Andy Shea's,
2 seconds left. The shot deflected, and that will do it. The Penn State Nittany Lions take the trip to New Haven and knock off 5th-ranked Yale. The final from Reese Stadium, Penn State 13, Yale 11. That dominant first half performance, Pat, it really paved the way for Penn State, and Yale just couldn't overcome it.
Well, really not even first half. First quarter, seven goals in the first quarter. And